Perfect. Let's talk about some of the other rookies who did play yesterday. Our rookie report this week is brought to you by Prize Picks. Every day we make decisions, but on Prize Picks, being right can actually get you paid. Don't miss the excitement of this football season with Prize Picks, where it's good to be right. Playing Prize Picks is such a fun, simple way to add more excitement to football. You just pick more or less on player projections like Josh Allen's passing yards or Saquon Barkley rushing for a touchdown. And you're in the game. Download the Prize Picks app today and use promo code LOCKEDONNFL to get $50 in lineups after you play your first $5 lineup. That's code LOCKEDONNFL for $50 in lineups after you play your first 5. Prize Picks, it's good to be right. Guys, we already talked about Judkins and Gabriel. We're going to exclude them from this week's rookie report. The 3 guys we're going to focus on, Mason Graham, Carson Schwesinger, and Harold Fannin Jr. G, what'd you like from Mason Graham in this contest? I think it may have been his best game yet.
Yeah, man, nice. Listen, he had a nice little play on the goal line. Nice little punch, extend, get rid of the guy, make a tackle. He even got up and celebrated a little bit. Jason, we kicking his leg. We got to work on your celebration, though, big fella. But, you know what I'm saying, we going to work with you. But, listen, I thought he had a real nice game. Real nice game. He's settling in more with the run game. I think it was a little bit of a shell shock. Like, oh, this am I going to see this type of run game with the zone and this gap schemes? So I think that's going to always be something that is going to be a work in progress as a defensive lineman. Even to a certain extent, Myles Garrett in his early part of his career didn't handle the run game as much well. So I think that'll be work in progress. But the thing that really is his asset is the fact that he's very, very quick. He's going to learn pretty soon to start being like, all right, when he starts to be able to read these run blocks and move around and not even touch these guys on runs, it's going to be crazy because his lateral quickness and redirect where the ball shifts, he got that part down. I thought he did a real nice job. And then, too, I thought him and Schwesinger got handled a little bit last week in the run game where the Steelers was coming at him, knocking him off the ball a little bit in the middle. Schwesinger fell into a couple of tackles. He got took for a ride. But I thought this game, Schwesinger was back doing his thing. I mean, this guy, once again, I don't know where his tackles are, but I feel like he's got to be in the top half of the league in terms of all linebackers with tackles. I know who he is as a rookie, but he's always around the football and he's always able to do his thing. And then Harold Fannin Jr., not many opportunities, but the thing that I was looking for with him was David Njoku was out of the game, right? What does it look like without David Njoku? And I feel like Harold Fannin Jr., I'm Project Stockpile, but I wouldn't have no problems if Browns moved on from David Njoku.
Oh, they will.
And said, this is the right. Primary guy.
Fannin's a little undersized for a tight end, and I guess I didn't really notice that until recently. He's not.
That's why I led the NCAA in receiving yards last year.
He plays safety.
He plays more like a receiver.
He plays safety
like a
in high
big
school.
receiver.
Yeah. So I wonder going forward with him how he holds up as the primary tight end, just because he's not as big. I never noticed it until recently how undersized he is for that position. But I mean, he's having a great year for what they want out of him. I think he fits that second tight end role really well. So if and when they do move on from David and he slides over, I'm just curious to see how he responds to that. Mason, I think what I was most impressed with is he was limited all week and they weren't even sure he was going to play.
I know. I didn't think he was going to.
I didn't think he was going to. And so for him to not only play but be as effective as he was.
And it was like knee inflammation. And
knee.
Typically, you know this, that doesn't typically, if you're like questionable on Friday, that usually doesn't lend to the idea that you're going to have a great game on Sunday.
Yeah, so I think that speaks to his toughness level. And as far as Schwesinger goes, he just plays with violence. Mm-hmm. And he had a play yesterday, I don't know if the camera caught it or not, where I can't remember, it was a tackle.
Was that the stand-up tackle that he
like
made?
threw him.
Yeah.
He grabbed him
impressive.
and like threw him down.
That was on Achan.
Was it Achan?
Yeah, it was a great tackle.
I don't remember the play. I just remember watching him fly in, grab him, and throw him down, and I thought
that was impressive.
This is an angry young.
He gets there angry.
Yeah. He plays with anger and violence, and I don't spend a ton of time with him, but he seems like such a chill dude, California guy.
Yep.
Off the field. But on the field, man, he just has a violence and an anger to his game that you want at that position.
Can you imagine this? And I know this is a pipe dream. Can you imagine if they still had him and then
JOK.
and JOK came back like JOK?
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Bro, what are you talking about, bro?
We would have gone from no linebackers
Oh,
to one of the
you
best
no,
linebacking
you would
cores
go
in the NFL.
But you know that. But here's the thing about
We don't have
life.
Schwesinger if JOK is-
if JOK is still
Yeah.
present. Schwesinger
Yeah.
wouldn't be.
Probably not.
Yeah.
I'm going to give Schwesinger and Graham A's, and I'm going to give Fannin a B. The play you talked about at the goal line where he shed the block, and that's the kind of stuff that it's fun to watch rookies grow and that light go off. Like you said, wait until he starts seeing things coming. I think he's starting to.
Yeah.
I think he's starting to anticipate what the play is, and then when it happens, he's like, oh my God, I guessed right. And
Right.
he's there to plug the hole. With Schwesinger, this is a point I want to make talking about him and development with young guys. You know, how you just don't know. Like, you know, we could be looking at Dylan Gabriel today as, you know, he's going to be a career backup. And then, boom, lights go off.
Right.
Same with Shedeur Sanders. There are people that aren't sure if Shedeur Sanders can be anything but a career backup. We don't know. You got to get an opportunity and you got to see it. Last year, 1 year ago, he was just 2 months into a starting role at UCLA.
It's crazy.
He did not start the season as
Yeah, he was a walk-on.
no, but I'm talking about in his last year.
Yeah,
he
yeah,
was
right.
not a starter when the season began.
That don't happen.
And all of a sudden, to
That
the
don't happen.
point of like a light going off, this guy went from not being a one to a starter to one of the best defensive players on their team to getting, you know, national accolades for his play to being a high draft pick to being a guy who I think, correct me if I'm wrong, I don't think this is hyperbole, he certainly has to be in the conversation for Defensive Rookie of the Year, doesn't he?
I mean,
I don't know.
He's currently the favorite.
Oh, is he?
Okay, so that's
the
not a
guy-
stretch then.
I mean, he has almost 60 tackles.
Yeah, he's gonna
And there's
finish with 130
there's like
tackles.
9 more games.
He's going to finish with 130 tackles
He's
if he
tied for
stays
10th
healthy.
in the league in tackles right now, and
That's
I'm
phenomenal.
incorrect. Abdul Carter moves slightly ahead.
Yeah,
of
I would have said that Carter might be
they're
with
essentially
him,
neck and neck. Yeah,
But think of Carter. He's a guy that went where? Number 2 or 3 overall?
3 overall.
And so Carson is one of those guys, and I don't think we've seen the ceiling to him either. I think he's going to be a guy that continues to ascend. I love his motor. Fannin gets a B for me because I think he had a drop, if I'm not mistaken. There was a ball that was thrown his way that I felt he should have caught.
I'm trying to think of who it was.
Did Fannin have a drop yesterday? There was something he did yesterday that I didn't
targeted
love.
on the interception that got called back. I'm not sure if that's what you're thinking.
Yeah, maybe that was it. I don't know. I shouldn't.
ESPN doesn't have him with a drop. That doesn't
Okay,
mean
maybe he didn't.
drop one.
He just didn't jump off. Like if you get an A, to me, you made plays that jumped off the screen. And I mentioned the goal line play with Graham, and there were a couple instances where Schwesinger got there and he was angry and he was throwing guys around. And I just love he plays with a level of violence that you want your linebackers to play with. He's got a nose for the ball, so they both get A's. And Fannin was good. He jumped off here and there, but not good enough for an A for me.
I got to get Schwesinger paired up with AJ. You got to teach
Yeah.
him how to be that
Right.
nice guy off the field and that animal on the field.
You do need to get them paired up.
grading
Hey, the girl that cuts my hair cuts his hair.
Yeah.
So I've got it in there.
All right.
You know,
All right.
maybe we can get
Well,
AJ.
I do see him 3
to-
times a week in the locker room. So
Yeah,
I,
you're
Well,
right.
yeah, but you want it to happen. You want it to happen organically.
Yeah.
We find out when his
Bring him
next
in for a
haircut is.
haircut.
AJ schedules it for right afterwards, but he gets there 30 minutes ahead of time, and he goes, "Wait a minute, are you who I think you are?" Because he's unmistakable.
Look at this. This is why Jay.
Yeah,
you
he's
thought,
always
you
making
thought
moves.
Lyman was bad.
Yeah, oh, yeah.
Slippery wizard. The
You
old
gotta
wizard.
hook it up.
Grading defensive linemen is impossible because maybe you were watching him every play.
I mean, even I don't watch.
the only
defensive
time you're
linemen
going to see
play.
Mason.
I didn't even watch him. I
When he
was trying to
flashes.
watch him.
When
I
he
didn't watch
flashes,
him.
May have
you
had
see
an
him.
A game, but we're basing that on like 3 plays.
Right,
You know,
but
like-
to me, if you flash at that position for 3 games, 3
yeah, but
plays,
if he
that's
got
good.
his ass kicked on the other 50 plays, did he have an A game?
That's for PFF.
Yeah,
to
I
decide.
don't know.
That's for
I don't
PFF.
trust PFF either, really.
Did
but
you see what J.J. Watt said about PFF, by the way?
Yeah, he was defending his brother after.
I know he was, but he essentially said what I've been saying, like they're dead to him.
Well,
You know,
then let him come up with a better answer.
Well, here's what he said. Here's what he said, and I
Yeah.
did not disagree with him. Grading players is a ridiculous exercise. Now, so is doing a mock draft on
Facts.
April 28th.
Yes.
But we do it. And PFF isn't going to stop doing it because J.J. Watt doesn't like it. but JJ's points were very well taken.
I don't know. I think they're stupid. What do
No,
you mean?
JJ said what I've been saying. How do you know what the assignment was? He might have carried out his assignment right perfectly.
Okay, but if you're going to say that, then get a better answer.
Well, no, Bull, there isn't one.
Okay, well then.
Outside of someone, you know what is, and you'll know this. Your coach's grade. What did the coaches give you?
Well, then let the coaches share it.
Well, they're not going to
Fans
share
want that information.
Yeah, they're not going to share that.
Fans want
It's the best we have.
As a fan, you
but it's
want
a flawed system.
Everything's flawed. I'm sure the coach's system is flawed too.
I don't understand how the universe can start from nothing and then a big bang. What happened before that?
Right.
The best case I got.
But there was nothing before that?
But just nothing?
Yeah, I get it.
So we got to just take your
You
word
see
for
the
it.
coach's grade at the end of the year when the contracts are handed out.
Yeah,
That's when you see the
you're
coach's
right. How much money are you making in your next deal?
Yeah. I mean, it's hard. Grading players
It is difficult.
tough.
It's very, very difficult. But to your point, like a defensive lineman, we do watch them much differently. But for me, if they flash a few times, that's a good game because typically they don't. And I love the point they made during the broadcast yesterday about the 7-man rotation by Schwartz with the defensive linemen. It seems to be working because they've got guys that they can put in there and not
Alex
lose.
Wright had a crazy
Oh my God,
he had a very good
He
game.
had a crazy. He was everywhere.
By the way, doesn't every team rotate 7 players roughly?
more
on the
now
defensive
than ever before.
And my calls should be back sooner than later.
Good.
line? We've been hearing that for a month.
That's
No,
another.
I know. But
Didn't they come out and say that he had a couple of injuries
he
with
had
the knee?
we had a couple surgeries.
couple surgery with the knee, like not
serious.
just one ligament.
This was
Yeah.
not a small thing.
Yeah.
But he practiced last week. I don't know how much he needs to practice. I have no.
He's not going to play much, probably. I mean, they got the guys there are playing well.
They
Everybody's
are,
playing
but
well.
I mean, good teams can rotate guys in. I remember when Myles and Larry Ogunjobi were playing like 90% of the snaps.
Oh yeah.
Because they had to.
And I was like, this is nuts. You can't.
Right.
Yeah.
They're going to get hurt. You can't keep doing this. And that's when they had no depth whatsoever. So yeah, they've done a nice job of building their depth across the defensive line.
I think that's
Now
been
they've got
Schwartz's
guys
priority. He wants bodies, many of them.
Yeah.
And I think what we've done is we've gone from having a lot of guys to now having a lot of guys that are really good, not just serviceable.
Yeah.
They have guys that when they come in, they're well rested and they want to flash when they get their opportunities and they're making plays. And yesterday's defensive effort is not sustainable. They're not going to do that every game. No. What's odd to me is we talked about this last year with the Schwartz home and away defenses. Or I think it was 23 where it really jumped off the page. You should be better at home. Your defense should be better at home. But oddly, this defense is much, much, much better at home.
Yeah.
And they are 2-0 with the brown helmets this year.
By the way, Mike, can you put I know we're talking about defense at the moment, but can you put the receiving stat leaders on that board
Of course.
for a minute?
It's 110, Steve, I believe.
If you took every Browns wide receiver, besides Judy, I'll say, and just cut them, every one of them, and
How many of
replaced
them
them
would
with
be
guys
picked
off
up?
the street, would it matter? Would
No.
it make any difference?
No. It
I
wasn't.
don't know.
Will any Browns wide receiver
Oh, my God.
will any Browns wide receiver get 500 yards this year?
Yes,
Yes.
Fannin will, for sure.
Wide receiver.
Oh, wide receiver. Judy will get there.
Judy
Yeah,
will
he's
get
halfway there through
Will
7.
will any Browns wide receiver besides Jerry Judy get 350 yards?
Probably not.
No, I bet not.
I actually think
I think they have to
Bond.
just based out of opportunity.
Bond might
But
get it.
Njoku's going to get traded more than likely, and that'll open opportunities. for-
Yeah. If he doesn't, they'll have 2 tight ends that get 500
Like,
yards.
you had what's his name, who they picked up off the Jets, who made his catch
Malachi
yesterday.
Corey.
He thought he would have won the Super Bowl
Oh,
after
he
making
went
that
crazy.
catch.
That was a nice play.
It was. I
Actually,
like that play design.
It was.
I like that play design.
It was a little
That's 2 for
misdirection.
Kevin Stefanski
Bond
in his
stinks.
book.
You're right.
What's his name is terrible. The guy they drafted late last year. That guy's awful.
Thrash.
Thresh is awful.
Yeah.
I mean, he's god awful.
Did Bond play? Did I see him
He
yesterday?
did not have a stat.
I mean, we talked about it all offseason, but what's the highest pick that they've used on a receiver?
Tillman,
Well,
And what was Tillman?
Third.
third round.
Well, technically they traded a
and
second round pick.
Bell
to
was the
get a
third
lot
round.
more.
Schwartz was the
but
third
I mean,
round.
in the draft.
Third round.
Third
Yeah.
round.
Multiple third rounders.
You're really narrowing your target when you're shooting
Oh,
the third
You aren't
round.
kidding. You are. Yeah, at that position.
And by the way, listen, did y'all see Cardinal Tate play? the
Oh,
other
I
day?
saw him.
That was ridiculous.
That play, that catch was incredible.
Hey, by the way, I don't know about the quarterback angle we drafted, but that Cardinal Tate pick at receiver. And by the way, let me just tell you this: he's not going to be there in the 20s. Stop. I'm gonna let you know
Especially
that
when
right
I don't think he will either.
Look at the way
I don't think he will
Jackson
either.
Smith and Jigba's fantastic right
now.
now.
all the
Ibuka's been
Buckeye,
great as a
it's
rookie.
always it's wide receiver you.
Now Marvin Harrison.
Yeah, he was the most surefire lock, and he might
I know.
be so far the worst.
He's been
throw
real
of-
hit or miss, as I know. He's on my fantasy roster this year.